So yesterday's record session, I messed up. I messed up big time, as in I forgot that I have to keep switching between G1, G2 and Z3, forget about it. But I have to be really mindful of the fact that when I'm showing something on the screen, I cannot have this camera running. It has to be either this or this, otherwise it will make no sense. Like yesterday, I had documented 3-4 things. I had to redo those 3-4 things again because of course I was just showing my face and not the screen. I knew from the start there's going to be a bit of a learning curve to this process, but the returns are worth it, I feel, at least as of now, because I don't have to go through the multicam setup. So it's just about being very, very deliberate and conscious of the fact that I'm going to stay in G2 or G4 for the majority of the time, and only when I want to like specifically talk something to the camera deliberately, that is when I come to G1 and forget about G3. That's just an added nonsense. So I'm going to switch to G2 now. Good evening, welcome back to In the Khud. This is 6th April 2023, 6:30 p.m. I'm going to try and wrap this session in like 5 minutes. Basically, I can sum up the whole day today in one thing, which is this thing that you see on the screen here. This is the final render of the 3D project I've been working on for the full-time job. I say full-time job. You see here, this looks kind of weird, kind of off. Even the cars are looking kind of weird. Anyway, so the majority of the day today, I think from yesterday, if I have to pick up on the progress, I added this logo here and all this like texture painting. That took a good like, I don't know, 3-4 hours of figuring out and struggling and not being able to figure what is the problem. Even now I haven't quite figured what the problem is, but I think I know a little bit, so I'm going to document that. And for this particular project, I'm going to go ahead and make a proper documentation and not like the past where I'm just like roughly going through it, because I feel I can make like a full-fledged video out of this entire system and will be very, very useful for a lot of people out there, and like just get started with Blender tutorials as well. Maybe on the main channel or on In the Khud, it can go anyways. So this was one addition. Other than that, you see the terrace I've modeled. It's not perfect, but again, the trend here has been I've spent so much time detailing things here. Like for example, these floors, I spent so much time detailing, adding lamps and trees and stuff in here. It's not even visible in the final render, it's so far away. Same with the terrace, it's just so far it's not visible, so I'm not going to spend time detailing it as of now. I just want to render this inside cycles and send it, because as of now I've just shared the material preview render and they feel like the lighting, I said the lighting will be better and things like those. So I'm gonna just render this out approximately like 30 minutes and send it today. So the terrace, and there is one little thing that I've put inside as well. On that there should be the logo, but the scaling is a bit off, so I'm not worrying about that. And that of course the other big thing is the cars. So I'm gonna just show you if I can play the timeline. I'm gonna just pray to the RTX 3060 gods to let this play and let OBS record at the same time. This is playing at frame dropping, so you won't be able to understand what is happening. I'm gonna go ahead and take the chance of playing it full size. It'll be slower, but you'll get what I'm trying to show here. So the base scales up. Okay, the two paths form. One path is surrounding the building, the other path is the road. Okay, that happens. Then we have, I think, the ground floor popping up. Okay, the cars, the bus and the car popping, the surrounding trees are popping up. The camera has begun its journey across the canvas. Okay, this is slow, but this is good because I get time to like literally see what is happening. So now we've come, the ground floor has come up. Now with our scaling instances, we have the podium come up, and you see the entire stack of instances has just one texture stretching across it, which is what I spent so much time trying to figure out today. Then after that we have the clubhouse floors coming up. I just hope that my system doesn't burn. Clubhouse floors, those two coming up. Then there are going to be the pillars coming up. One thing, okay, you see by the way the cars are moving, and the cars are moving along a path with again the track to constraint, follow path constraint, and that's very simple inside Blender. I love how easy they've made it. So now the floors, one thing I changed is the floors were coming a lot later. I offsetted it a little earlier so that you don't have to wait for a long time before the floors and the twists start coming. I felt that was a thing which was happening, like you had to wait a long time. We're almost there. Man, I love the fact that it's just been 2 days that I've bought the RTX 3060 Ti card, and I have really been able to like push it to its limit. In my current projects, I do not have to download a benchmark project or anything. Just my current projects with geometry nodes. This is such a complex system that I've built that it is pushing it to the limit, and I'm very glad that is the case. If I just show you my performance here of the GPU. When we hit rendering, that's when it goes 100%. Currently it's just using 45% while showing this, and it's completely relying on CPU. So from what I understand, Blender is designed to utilize the CPU when running in the viewport like this. Okay, anyway, the addition was that the terrace came up. Now I wanted the terrace to actually come and twist like the floors, but right now it's too late for me to integrate that into the system because I've modeled it later. So I just added like a little bit of rotation and scaling to the terrace unit itself, and I think now I can just skip past it. And then it moves to the right. Now again, there are a lot of other things that I could have done here to make it a lot better. For example, one of the things I was thinking about is in between the road and the path there is this little space. I could add grass there, and the grass could have a little slight movement animation like we did in Arundel's beginner geometry nodes course. That would be amazing. But what is happening right now is I have taken way too much time for this one project. There is one more 3D project lined up for the full-time job, which is going to be so intense because it has proper character animation, it has proper scenes, and I'm going to utilize all of these tools of geometry nodes there as well. But here I have to just send this out today somehow. So after I stop recording here, I'm going to hit render and just send it out. So you see that the bus and the cars are moving along the path, along the curve. I'll do a proper documentation of it tomorrow, in tomorrow's session or day after tomorrow's session, because tomorrow is a holiday for Good Friday. That's a good thing. And I think that is pretty much it. This time around I was a lot more aware, a lot more mindful of the fact that I have to not mess up. I'll just quickly show the Notion page in case there's something. So I'm not documenting what time I'm waking up because it's constantly between 3:30 and 4 a.m. maximum. Sometimes when I'm super late while sleeping, like day before yesterday, I was editing the thumbnail and all that stuff for the vlog. That's when I woke up at 4:20. But 4:20 when the alarm goes off, that's like the maximum I can sleep now. Beyond that I don't. So I'm not documenting that. I paid the bills first thing in the morning. Then these are things I want to do. Modeling terrace, adding it to the system, I did that. Logo on the podium stack, texture paint. Add low poly cars to move along. Grass I couldn't do, and CG people I tried. If I can just use green screen stuff, it didn't work out as such. Now the idea of confront a problem for long enough and a solution comes is really true. Struggle so much with the stretching texture across instances problem. I somehow figure it, not completely sure why it works though. And to be sure of why it works and to figure out what it does, that is when I'm going to document it in a proper manner. So beautiful session, beautifully recorded. Thank you so much for being in the khud. I hope you're having an amazing day. I never say stuff like those. It's just me, my documentation, because part of the reason is that nobody is watching these vlogs as of now, but I just enjoy this process so much. Like there is so much I learn just because of the fact that there's in the khud vlog. Truly grateful. Thank you so much for being in the khud. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.